My name's Ian Bell. I work for Fidelity Investments. I'm the manager of regional sales in charge of hiring for our Calgary office. There's many things students can do. A lot of what we look for is, what you're taking in school, what you've done outside of school, which is very, very important. Working specifically in our field, we work in financial services. So something like even starting as a bank, as a teller, that's a great way to get into the financial services, learn about finance, have direct client face-to-face interaction. Also joining student groups. I know there's lots of finance-specific groups at U of C. That really shows to us your dedication and really learning more. The last thing is sometimes non-paid internships. Lots of companies, although they may have paid internships, will take you on non-paid. And that to us, if you're financially able to do that, can show really you're committed to learning more about the industry and getting in. Lots of the big financial firms have internships specifically that are non-paid. For us, number one is personality. Even though we're a finance firm, we've got people working at our office that are molecular biologists by background. We've got people from HR, finance is the most, we've got lots of people with CFAs, MBAs in our office. But number one, you have to know that you can work well on your own, you can work well under minimal supervision, and that you'll find work for yourself. And a lot of those things you can't teach is what we try and look for in the interview. Number two, academic studies, success academically. So not only your general GPA, that's not the only thing, but what else are you doing outside? For example, our industry, there's other industry certification courses you could take, like the Canadian Securities course or the IFIC exam, which focuses specifically on financial services. Number three, what do you do outside of work? Are you just the person who goes home and study, or are you part of a sports team? What do you do for interests? Are you well-rounded? And number four, and this is probably specifically to our industry, but mobility. Will you move outside the country for other jobs? If so, that does increase your chances. Google is one of the best ways to get to know a company. I can't tell you how many people come in. Fidelity is probably a perfect example of a company that maybe people have heard of but don't know a lot about, and that come in and I ask them, what can you tell us about our company? And other than maybe a few lines from our website, they know absolutely nothing about what we do. And I'm across the table looking at them saying, I want to hire you as a potential salesperson or whatever it is in our company, and you don't even know the first thing about our firm. That's a huge teller. I know it is a lot of work, but you can find that out in 20 minutes on Google. So for resumes and cover letters, this is something I think is very important because in this day and age, it is very easy to apply for roles. Everyone can apply online now. It's not where you're handing in resumes. So you have to have a resume that speaks out. The biggest thing for me on resumes is your resume has to tell a story. Also, when you're listing your job description, don't put what you did at the job, put what you accomplished at the job. Interviewed someone today who worked at Lowe's. They copied and pasted the job description onto the resume. I understand that as a cashier at Lowe's, you may not be changing the world, but talk about, that's a customer service experience. Perhaps you helped increase revenue. Perhaps you had some great ideas, employee of the month. Whatever it is, talk about how you made a difference at the job, not what you did at the job. Volunteer experience is very important. It shows to us that you're willing to go above and beyond, your sort of required role. Either that's for volunteering in your community or volunteering for a specific role. Definitely list it on your resume, and even put some bullets on there and what was the difference you made as a volunteer. Did you raise money? Did you help at a food bank, or did you do a non-paid internship, for example? GPA is important, but I'd say it's not the end-all be-all, right? It helps, it's one of those, like a resume, it helps you sort of get in the door, right? So if you have a good GPA, that is impressive to me, but at the flip side, if you have a very strong GPA, and that's it on your resume, that is a red flag, because that shows to me that although you are very disciplined in your work, you're not a well-rounded student. So don't let your GPA be the end-all and be-all. Look at the total picture. You want to do well in school, but the GPA is not the only item that's going to get you the job in the end.